Hi, I'm Pete from Jamie's Food Team, and today I'm going to show you how to make a chicken mushroom lasagna with some nice creamy leeks. I've got 2 pans on the stove, one for leeks and mushrooms, one for the chicken. I've got this one on a low heat, this one on a medium heat. I'm going to be using this first. That's just warming up so it's nice and hot when the chicken gets in it. It's really good to have a bowl on your bench for all of your bits and pieces and rubbish. I'm just going to chop my leeks into, I don't know, not quite centimetre slices. I'm going to cut the mushrooms now. So take the bottom off, and now we slice these. A little knob of butter, touch of olive oil. In go the mushrooms, season with a little salt and pepper, and pop the leeks with the mushrooms. Give them a little stir. 3 sprigs of thyme in with the mushrooms. A little stir. And then I'm going to pop the lid on and basically just leave it. So, meanwhile, I'm going to do the chicken. These are just nice, fat, free-range chicken thighs. I'm going to take the skin off the chicken. We don't really need that, and you know, nobody likes eating boiled chicken skin, so I'm going to just pull it off, which is really easy when you literally just pull it off like that and chuck it in the bowl. Salt and pepper. Lid off my pan, touch of olive oil, a little knob of butter. Turn the heat up. I'm going to turn these over in the seasoning. Make sure they get seasoned on all sides. Right, in goes the chicken. I'm just going to get my hands on the board, a good wash, just make sure there's no raw chicken anywhere. Turning the chicken over in the butter. And you really just want to brown it on all sides. See how my mushrooms and leeks are doing? Yeah, lovely. See the liquids come out? We'll take the lid off, and what we're going to do is just keep cooking it until that liquid reduces and all the flavour goes back into the vegetables and they're nice and dry. Meanwhile, keep turning the chicken till it gets really nice and caramelised on all sides. So we've got 5 cloves of garlic, peeled, smashed. I'm not actually going to cut it up any more than that. Now this is sage, quantity-wise. That's fine. The next thing I need is lemon. And I'm just going to peel, just with an ordinary speed peeler. Try not to get the pith, the white stuff underneath. All you want is a nice yellow zest. About 4 of these. See, the chicken's getting really nicely browned. I'm going to put the garlic, the sage and the lemon in with the chicken now. Give it a bit of a stir. Garlic's actually started to colour. I can smell the sage, so it's time to go to the next stage, which is put the milk in. I've got probably a couple of litres of milk in here, but I'm just going to add enough to cover the chicken. Well, almost cover it. Right, milk's coming up to the boil. Of course, you don't want to boil it hard, and you certainly don't want to boil the milk over, but you just want it to gently simmer. Yeah, leeks and mushrooms are doing well. We're just going to give them another few minutes to drive off that last bit of water before we use them. Now I've brought my chicken to the boil, I'm going to add a few wild mushrooms just for a little extra flavour. They just give it something really quite special. So I've got some dried ones over here. I've got some black trompette de mort, so I'm going to just tear up. I've got some porcini. Yeah, and drop them in. Stir them into the liquid. Right, my leeks and mushrooms are ready. Chicken's poached. So the last thing we need to do is make the bechamel sauce. We could use just some more milk from the jug, but you know, this milk has got so much flavour in it. This is what we're going to use to make the bechamel with. Okay, I'm going to take my chicken out of the milk, pop the pieces on a plate. I'm going to leave all the mushrooms in there because that's great flavour. Pop my pan on the heat, just so it's ready. Got 100 gram butter in there. And now, measuring jug. And let's see how much milk we've got. So I'm just going to pour this in. Right, that's 1 litre. Now that only comes up to about 400 ml. So, because we need 2 litres for this, I'm just going to top it up. I'm going to pop it back in here, along with the mushrooms. I'll do this the other way around. Turn it off, put this in the middle. It's all to do with being right-handed, you see. Butter's melted. Time to go in my flour. 100 gram flour. Give it a nice stir. There is a bit of effort in this. I'm afraid you need to keep stirring it. The more diligent you are with it, the smoother and the better the sauce you'll have. My roux's cooking on the top. It's about ready. I'm going to get my ladle out and ladle some of this into the roux and just stir it in. Stir it really well in so there's no lumps. You've got to make sure that every time you add some liquid, you stir it in really, really well. Otherwise, you'll get a lumpy sauce. So, in with the next lot. Okay, that's all the milk added now. And I'm just going to give it a gentle stir, bring it up to the boil. Just keep stirring. The last thing you want to do now is burn it after all of that work. This is cooked out, tasting delicious. I'm just going to put it through a sieve. Those wild mushrooms, as I say, you don't have to have them. They take it somewhere really quite special. That's our sauce. Our chicken's cooled down now, so I can flake it up. You just pull the meat off. It's very simple. Okay, there's the chicken. I'm going to split it into 3 lots so that we get an even amount every layer. Here we go. Put it to one side. Right, I'm going to bake my lasagna in this nice little dish. It's got a little knob of butter here I'm going to rub around. Just cut a clove of garlic in half. Dip it in a little salt. I'm going to just rub it around. Okay, my baking dish is all ready to go. I've got my fresh lasagna sheets over here. And I'm going to start with a layer of pasta. And I want to have it coming right up over the sides here and then fold it down on top of the lasagna when I fill it. I've got my leeks and mushrooms here and I put them in 3 piles, so I know I'm going to have even amounts in each layer. Just going to spread them in. Some chunks of chicken. Right, now for the bechamel. Just going to spoon it over the top, like that, there we go. I'm going to add a little salt and pepper to this now. Pecorino into the sauce, like that. It's really, really delicious. Once you get to that stage, it's ready to go into more pasta. Pasta's going in like that this time, and then you really just repeat just exactly what I did before, and then you're ready for the last layer of pasta. Now we got all the chicken and all the mushrooms and all the leeks in. We got these flappy bits here just to fold over and pop some sauce on top to hold them down a bit. Okay. Make sure you get right to the edge. That's the lasagna. Give it a last season. A little bit of cheese. Double layer of foil. I'm just going to pop that in the oven now. I pop that in a 180 oven. That's 180 centigrade, about 350 Fahrenheit. And it'll go in there for about half an hour, I think. Then I'll take the foil off and let it crisp up and go golden brown on top. It's at 45 minutes in that oven, about 180. And this should serve about 8 people. And on a plate. There we go. Sweet leek and wild mushroom lasagna.